All right, all right, all right. I am listening to Richard's live stream earlier today. Um, I just had a beer whenever I was picking up some tacos because it's Taco Tuesday. My candle ran out earlier, burnt that down during the Hex Foodies live stream earlier. I talked to my sister earlier today. She is in finance, my only other sibling. Um, they don't have any exposure to crypto because um, it is not shown throughout the years, tried and true. So I'm gonna slowly get it underneath the door. I'm gonna send her the message. Really interested toward that sort of thing, incorporating my sister. Hey, Apex, will you come on? Let's talk about Hex. Here is the link in the chat. You might have a live stream coming on here soon. Today is the day, the last day that we should be telling CZ Hexing if it is that we're going to join the Dallas meetup. In the t.me/hex foodies. Did I say that right? t.me/hex Texas is where you can find more information about the Texas group meeting. So I have this sister who does not have any exposure to crypto, and when I started to explain that you could build on top of Ethereum, she already said, "You lost me." So she's got to give me more time, and us sit down. Instead, it's she's giving me time with her daughter on FaceTime. The markets have been down a little bit lately. Not so much in Hex. In fact, in Hex, we dipped a little bit and we came back up quite a bit. The situation is the markets are in denial, and there are some projects that kind of failed recently. So it's kind of like knocking on the door and showing that it was improperly built. And we've seen this before. We've seen this throughout crypto. This is just like people not realizing the threats to their security. The certain things, Luna, Terra Luna. And so it was a way that people were earning huge gains. They were competing with Hex there for a while. And a reason why I didn't get into it was because I didn't realize how it was regulated. And whenever it was explained to me from someone, I didn't want to touch it. And then because it was making so many gains, it was getting so much attention from people. I even heard about it at a dinner party once, a political dinner party. I'm not political. Instead, it was just a get together. So somebody asked me on Twitter, why is it that I wouldn't get into Luna? And I straight up said, because they have shaky asset coupling backing the Luna. And I've seen it before. And I don't even trust some of the stable coins. I don't even trust those things. People saying that there's a huge backing behind it. So I think that if you trade in and out of USDT, the Tether, for a long time, I've not wanted to do that. I never want any value to enter and exit that. years down the road or whenever it would catch up with you. I want nothing to do with it. So Luna was a situation that was similar to that. I just I responded to somebody's Twitter like, "Hey, it's a little bit shady, um, and I don't know if it's ever going to fail, but you don't want to be holding that stuff whenever it does." And just last night, or actually all yesterday, and I could probably pick up the Twitter Spaces and find similar spaces that I was listening to yesterday and last night, where it's people telling like heartbreaking stories about investing or getting their wife to invest in it. Um, so they have separate finances in the same household. And the guy hadn't yet told the wife the news of what was going down. And there was this other guy who was on the benefiting side of it, saying that he maneuvered trades while the reckoning was happening. He maneuvered trades to where he turned. It was just a uh, degenerate account. It was just an account he wanted to play with. And so he had only $1,000, but he claimed he turned it into $350,000. People say they often inflate what it is that they actually do. Typically, I burn that candle, but I'm not going to do it this time. I was expecting someone inside of meetup.com to come out this way and pose his questions about cryptocurrency. And I was going to see what I could do for this person that I haven't met. I've got like 4.5 years worth of experience in crypto, maybe 5 years. Yeah. I still remember someone telling me that Ethereum was the number 2 coin. So it was like, that's like right when I started paying attention, because back in the day, I had the opportunity to buy Bitcoin, but someone who was warning me against government world domination, he convinced me that on a moral standard, I wouldn't want to be a part of Bitcoin if it was that Bitcoin was to bring us to our knees as far as freedom. But as it is that I continued to look at my surroundings, I really wish that I would have taken a ride on Bitcoin. And then whenever it got a lot of attention at a 20K time period that was around a Christmas in 2017, Christmas, 20K, Bitcoin rose to that amount. And then it dropped from there all the way down to 3,500, 3.5K. It took about 6 months or 4 months for it to drop all the way down to the bottom. And that's what got my attention whenever it was that this thing could hold value. And I wanted to understand like what gave it value and how it worked. And since then, it's been kind of a hobby, just trying to understand more and more of this technology that's able to bring us all together and organize the world in a new way. And here we are at a financial revolution because of this stuff. But yeah, I was searching for answers in 2017, and I found Richard Hart, who is the creator of Hex Token. Hex Token looks like, how do I do this? The icon looks like this here that I'm pointing to on my hat. And so it's a hexagon with the color scheme from yellow to magenta, I guess you could say, or fuchsia. So through orange up to fuchsia. Um, so Richard created a cryptocurrency in order to better cryptocurrencies, in order to erase all cryptocurrencies beforehand and give us a clean slate and a better crypto. Um, it's because cryptocurrencies have had flaws all throughout, and the way that people have handled them have had flaws. So now, um, earlier he created a token that was meant to operate better than Bitcoin, a store of value, better than Bitcoin. And that token um, was put upon Ethereum, the number two coin, let's say, or blockchain, the number two blockchain, or number two in value, that is. Um, oh gosh, I need to say number two in USD uh, evaluation. But on this number two blockchain, Hex token was created and placed. And because of all the other things that are going on that blockchain, we would like a more efficient blockchain to run our stuff on. So the Hex token is going to be on a copy blockchain, and this copy is going to have all the updates that are needed that Richard Hart sees fit. And so that's about to release. And earlier today, he had a live stream that said 14 days or so, and it may be sooner than that he's going to release this blockchain. I need to tell you, we in the community have been waiting for this blockchain for a year, something like that, maybe a little bit less than a year, maybe 10 months. A lot of us supported it by giving over some funds to kickstart the thing. And so I think we did that back in July. It's now May, by the way, in case you're listening to this at a later point. So, here we are before the launch of Pulse Chain. And there's a lot to be gained. It's going to create a storm. I was just listening to Richard's live stream just now. He was saying, like, I think that people don't realize the storm that's about to be upon them. Because the same things that are offered on Ethereum are going to be offered on Pulse Chain, and Pulse Chain is going to be more efficient and updated. It's going to be a pretty stellar situation. And this is the height of cryptocurrency right now. This is the innovation. This is the call to pay attention, if it is that you're listening to this and you haven't given it a chance yet. This is what to pay attention to. This is the only thing that's happening besides the downfall of so many of these other lies that have been built. My goodness. So time and time again. Okay, so let's say this. You have a thief, right? A thief only has so many ways that they can attack you that are known about by both sides. And then the thieves get a little bit more uh, ingenuity, and they find a new way, and then you figure out a way to deter that somehow. And so it's this constant game, but some of the same old tricks are being used by thieves. They're fucking timeless, right? Excuse me. So that's what happens in cryptocurrency, where people just continue to create schematics in order to get people to part with their funds, whether the funds are still in their bank or if they've been transferred into crypto. um, Thieves are still out there trying to separate you from that, and to gain control of it. In crypto, there's no authority to give you back your crypto after you gave it away to a thief. There's no justification. There's no justice act. So what I'm trying to say is that we are slowly seeing evolution take place in cryptocurrency. And yes, I do discourage you from doing anything that would make it to where you become a victim to a thief. But in crypto, all you have to do is learn about a situation and see if it's valuable or not. Don't go and put your money into something just to make money. Put your money into something because it makes sense. That's what Hex token is, hex.com. And that's what, and furthermore, there is a blockchain that has been created that's about to be released or put live in order to make it to where the Hex token, the store of value, can exist forevermore. There's more complicated stuff happening, but I'm trying to keep this just at Hex token is a store of value that you can multiply. You can earn a yield because you've acquired it and put it to action for you. So imagine having 100% Hex tokens right now and having 140% Hex tokens at the end of a year, or having 100% Hex tokens right now and doing without it for 15 years. And all of a sudden you have, I don't know, 3,000%, 36,000% um, Hex tokens in the future. Okay. And the way that you're able to do this is because Hex is the inaction of a contract that sits on the Ethereum blockchain. So right now it sits on Ethereum blockchain, and that contract is written and sewn into the Ethereum blockchain. And so anytime that a computer wants to interact with the Ethereum blockchain and it calls upon that contract, then it has operations that can happen. So whenever it is that you have Hex tokens, you've acquired them because you've bought them from someone else, because somebody else put them on an exchange inside of a pool of some sort, and you went and made an offer and you said, hey, I want those tokens. And so now you have them in your wallet, and then you go to the Ethereum contract and you say, hey, contract, how much Hex tokens would you give me if, or at what rate of interest, like thing, right? Would you give me if I submitted these Hex tokens to you for whatever amount of time? So I get to decide how many days I'll do without my Hex tokens. I get to decide how many Hex tokens I get to do without. So you go and you enter this contract, or you enter this agreement with the contract, and you burn your Hex tokens. They disappear. They're not shown on the contract. They're not shown in your wallet. Instead, the contract keeps track of your wallet. So in the future, you go back to the contract and you say, hey, remember that agreement we had? I want my fair share. Now, if it is that you didn't have the patience to write out your time that you said that you were willing to, you'll be penalized. But still, you can still retrieve Hex tokens out of the contract. And what does that look like? You just go to the contract, run the function, and the contract creates the tokens and puts them back into your wallet. So when it creates them, we call that minting, minting a coin, you know. Um, and the reason why it works like that, everything has a purpose. It's all code. It's all woven into itself. So in order for you to put forward the value of the hex tokens, whenever you do that, it burns them. It assigns your wallet a rate in order for you to be earning tokens, and it marks what your principal was. And then it's whenever you return, do you get um, do you get all of this stuff looked at again through the contract in order for you to be done with the contract. You're done with the agreement by then. You now have, if you waited out that time period, you now have more hex tokens in your wallet. You have the principal plus the interest. Now, all of this stuff, it seems really easy and simple. And it's like, well, what is this, just a toy? I get what you're saying, but that no one's created this before. This stuff doesn't exist. Never before uh, has there been such a hive of people doing this. Never before has there been this exact software working in the way that it has. Never before has it been so easy at your fingertips. Um, this is a well-built system, and it's going to continue to serve its participants. So, I think I had a fun round of trying to explain what Hex is and how it fits in the world, um, and how my life fits into the whole thing as well. So, I hope it is that you have been able to um, fit this into your life as well. Like, what could this do for me? Um, Thank you. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you all later. So I've been doing these every Tuesday at 6 Central. So you're welcome to join. Tuesdays, 6 Central. Peace.